Sometimes it's not about the car, not about the rules, not even about the fight. It's about feeling heard. And this time, Riley didn't. Riley had just turned 17. There were balloons still hanging in the kitchen. Pictures from the small party were still in the fridge. Cake leftovers in the freezer. It had only been 4 days since Kandi threw her a sweet, cozy birthday celebration. My family came. Friends smiled. Kandi even made Riley's favorite dish, baked mac and cheese, just the way Riley liked it, with extra crust on top. Everything felt perfect. Until the next morning. Kandi was sitting at the table, sipping her coffee and going over work emails. Riley walked in, wearing lip gloss, sneakers, and holding her phone. She sat down quickly and looked her mom in the eye. So, I was thinking. Kandi didn't look up. About? Now that I'm 17. A lot of people drive at 17. Kandi paused. She slowly looked up. Riley? What? Riley said quickly. I'm not saying today, but maybe we could start looking. Looking for what? A car, Mom. What? A car. Not a fancy one. Just something small. Something that drives. That's all I need. Kandi put her mug down. We've talked about this, Riley. No, you talked. I never got to. The tension hit. Kandi's eyes narrowed slightly. This isn't about me not wanting to give you things. You know that. Then what is it about? I've done everything right. I get good grades. I don't party. I don't sneak out. I'm not asking for a Mercedes, Mom. Her voice was getting louder. Kandi stayed calm. But Riley, she was boiling inside. She had waited. She had dropped hints. She had even sent Kandi links to used cars on Facebook Marketplace. Nothing. And now she was tired of waiting. You said when I got older, we'd talk. Well, guess what? I'm older now. So let's talk. Kandi sat back in her chair. She folded her arms. You want to talk? Let's talk. Go ahead. Driving means more than having a license, Riley. It means being responsible for everything that happens in that car. I am responsible. You're still figuring out who you are. And you don't trust me. That's not it. Yes, it is. Riley stood up. You don't trust me. You never have. Kandi raised her hand. Lower your voice. But, so the neighbors don't hear the perfect mom and her spoiled daughter fighting? That one hit hard. The silence afterward felt sharp. Kandi stood up too, but she didn't yell. She walked over to the sink. Took a deep breath. I love you, Riley. That's why I say no sometimes. That's why I make you wait. Because I'm trying to keep you safe in a world that doesn't care if you're 17 or 37. Riley grabbed her bag. I'm done with this conversation. Where are you going? Oh, away. I'll go to Dad's. Or Maya's. Or anywhere that's not here. You're not thinking straight. No, you're not listening. She marched to the front door. I opened it. I looked back one last time. And then, she was gone. The house felt heavy. The clock ticked loudly in the quiet room. Kandi sat back down. No coffee now. Just hands on the table, trying to hold herself together. She'll be back, she whispered. She's just angry. But deep down, Kandi felt like something had broken. Not because of a car, but because somehow, her daughter didn't feel safe talking to her anymore. Riley walked down the sidewalk. Her breath was fast. Her heart was full of fire. She wasn't crying. Not yet. But the tears were close. She never listens. I try so hard. For what? Other moms trust their daughters. Why can't I? She texted her dad. No answer. She called her best friend Maya. No answer. She sat down on a bench near the gas station. And for the first time that day, the tears came. Soft at first. Then harder. She wiped her eyes, not wanting anyone to see. But even in the freedom she thought she wanted, she felt lost. Alone. And smaller than she expected. Sometimes you have to leave home to understand what home really means. It had been 3 days. 3 days since Riley walked out of the house. 3 days since Kandi heard her footsteps. 3 days since her voice echoed in the kitchen. The house felt cold. Not because of the weather, but because something was missing. Kandi sat at the kitchen table that morning. Riley's favorite cereal sat untouched. Her bedroom door was still slightly open. But the bed was made. No music playing. No laughter. Just silence. Kandi checked her phone again. No messages from Riley. She had texted once the night before. Let me know you're safe. Riley didn't reply. Kandi didn't sleep that night. She kept looking out the window. Every car that passed made her sit up. Every sound outside made her hope. But the door never opened. Riley sat on the edge of the guest bed. Her clothes were still in her backpack. She hadn't unpacked. She hadn't eaten much. Maya's mom was nice, but Riley knew she couldn't stay forever. She kept checking her phone, waiting for her dad to reply, for her mom to text again. But she didn't text back. She doesn't want to hear from me, Riley thought. She just wants to control everything. She tried to believe it, but her heart felt different. Her heart missed home. Kandi paced the living room, holding her phone. She had typed 5 messages, deleted all 5. She wanted to call, wanted to drive to Maya's. But part of her knew, if I chase her now, she won't learn anything. Still, the house felt emptier with every hour. She walked into Riley's room that night, sat on the bed, picked up the stuffed bear Riley still kept near her pillows, held it close, and cried. Where did I go wrong? I was just trying to protect her. Did I push too hard? Down the hallway, the night light flickered. Kandi hadn't turned it off in years. Even now, she left it on, just in case Riley came home. She laid awake at Maya's house. She stared at the ceiling, her headphones in, but no music playing. Just silence. Louder than anything else. Maybe I overreacted. She wasn't yelling. I was. Maybe she was just scared for me. She blinked hard, wiped her eyes, turned to face the wall. But walls don't hug you. They don't listen. They don't forgive. They just sit there. That morning, Kandi walked into Riley's room again. She placed a small box on Riley's bed. Inside was a folded note and a car keychain, but not the kind with real keys. Just a silver keychain that said, "Drive safe. You matter." She stared at it. Then I walked out. Riley sat on Maya's porch that afternoon. Maya was at school. Riley had skipped. She didn't feel like going. Didn't feel like being around anyone. And then her phone buzzed. It was a photo from Kandi of the empty kitchen table and a simple caption, "Miss you." No pressure, no threats, just the truth. Riley stared at it for a long time, then whispered, "I miss you too." She picked up her bag, took a deep breath, and started walking. Sometimes walking back home is harder than walking away, because pride doesn't protect you. But love, it's always waiting at the door. The sun was starting to go down. Riley walked slowly down the sidewalk. Her heart was beating fast, not because she was tired, but because she didn't know what would happen when she got there. Would Kandi yell? Would she be cold? Would she even open the door? She passed the park she used to play in, past the corner store where she and Kandi bought snacks late at night, past all the quiet reminders of a life she had tried to run from. Her backpack felt heavier with every step, but she kept walking. Kandi was in the kitchen heating leftovers. The house was quiet. She turned off the stove and sighed. Knock knock. Kandi froze. For a second, she didn't move. Then slowly, she walked to the door. I opened it, and there she was. Riley, standing small, her eyes glossy, her voice low. Hi. Kandi didn't say anything right away. She just looked at her daughter. So many feelings rushed in at once. Anger. Relief. But the one? She opened her arms. Come in, baby. Riley dropped her bag and rushed into Kandi's hug. Her tears came fast this time. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry. Shoo. I got you. You're home. They stood there in the doorway, holding each other like they hadn't in years. No yelling. No punishment. Just two hearts reconnecting. They sat on the couch, wrapped in a blanket. Neither one said much. The TV played softly in the background, but they weren't watching. They were just sitting, breathing, together. Finally, Riley whispered, I didn't mean to hurt you. Kandi nodded. I know. I didn't mean to hurt you either. Riley looked down. I just wanted you to trust me. That's all. Kandi reached over and held her hand. I do trust you. But part of being a mom is being scared sometimes. Not because I don't believe in you, but because I love you more than anything in the world. Riley blinked. Even more than music? Kandi laughed softly. Way more than music. They both smiled. Kandi stood up. I want to show you something. She walked to her room and came back with the small box she had left on Riley's bed. Riley opened it. Saw the keychain. Read the words. Drive safe. You matter. Tears filled her eyes again. Mom. Kandi handed her a small envelope. Sit. Was a printed appointment. A driving school evaluation. We'll do this together. You'll learn. You'll grow. And when you're really ready, we'll talk about that car. Riley hugged her again. Longer this time. Stronger. 'Cause sometimes, the best gifts aren't things. They're chances. Love can be given in 1 second. But trust is something you build mile by mile. 2 weeks had passed since Riley came back home. Things are better now. Lighter. There was still pain in the air sometimes, but it wasn't as heavy as before. It was healing. And healing takes time. Riley woke up early. She was nervous. Today was her first driving lesson. Kandi made her breakfast. I even packed a small snack. I feel like a little kid again, Riley joked. That's okay, Kandi smiled. Even big girls get butterflies. The instructor was calm and kind. Riley listened carefully. Kept both hands on the wheel. Checked her mirrors twice. Drove like every red light was a teacher. When she got home, Kandi was waiting on the porch. Riley ran up. Guess who didn't hit a trash can? Was that a real possibility? Apparently yes. They both laughed. The old rhythm was returning. That night, they sat on the porch, watching the sunset. The sky looked soft and warm. Riley took a breath. You know what scared me the most? What? That I'd leave, and you wouldn't want me back. Kandi looked straight at her. You're my child. There's nothing you could do that would make me stop wanting you. Even if I mess up again? Especially then. That silence afterward felt peaceful. Like the calm after a storm. But life had one more test waiting. One Saturday, Kandi had to fly out of town for an urgent meeting. It was just for a day. She trusted Riley to be home. Riley promised to stay in. No parties. No driving alone yet. Everything seemed fine. Maya texted, Hey, small get-together tonight. Chill vibes. Come hang. Riley stared at the message. She didn't reply at first. She looked at her mom's calendar. Her flight info. She knew she wouldn't be home until the next night. And the keys to the house car were right there. Her heart beat faster. This was her moment. Not to sneak out, but to prove herself. Or so she thought. She texted Maya back. I'll drive over for a little bit. Not staying long. Riley got in the car. She started slowly. Focused. I felt proud. I can do this. I'm not a little kid anymore. Halfway there, it started to rain. Just a little at first. Then harder. Riley slowed down. But the roads were slippery. And that's when it happened. She didn't crash. But she missed a red light. A car honked loudly. Screamed past her. She hit the brakes fast and pulled over. Her hands shook. Her breathing was sharp. She sat there for 10 minutes. Frozen. She turned around and drove home. Didn't go to the party. Didn't text Maya. Didn't say a word. She walked inside and sat in the dark. Her hands are still shaking. I thought I was ready, she whispered. But maybe I'm not. She texted Kandi. Can we talk when you get back? I made a mistake. When a child admits a mistake, it's not a weakness. It's the beginning of wisdom. Kandi landed back in Atlanta just before sunset. She was tired. Her phone buzzed. She saw the message from Riley. Can we talk when you get back? I made a mistake. Her heart sank a little, but she also smiled softly. At least she told me, she whispered. The lights were dim. The house smelled like the candle Riley always lit. Kandi walked in quietly. She found Riley sitting on the couch, knees pulled to her chest, face nervous. Hey. Hi. You okay? Riley nodded, but her eyes were watery. Kandi sat beside her. What happened? Riley didn't try to lie. She didn't sugarcoat it. She told Kandi everything. How Maya invited her. How the keys tempted her. How she drove in the rain. How the near miss at the red light shook her. I shouldn't have gone. I panicked. I thought I could handle it. I was wrong. Kandi didn't yell. She didn't raise an eyebrow. She just listened. And when Riley finished, she hugged her. Thank you for telling me. Aren't you mad? I was scared. But no, I'm not mad. I'm proud of you for being honest. But I broke your rule. Yeah, you did. But you also came back. And you told me. That matters more. Riley wiped her eyes. So, I'm grounded. Kandi smiled. You're on pause. Not punishment. Until we can both agree you're ready. They talked for a long time that night. Not just about the car. But about pressure. About expectations. About fear. Kandi admitted she was sometimes too controlling. Riley admitted she sometimes acted grown before she was ready. They laughed. They cried. They healed. I don't want freedom if it means losing you, Riley whispered. And I don't want control if it means losing your trust, Kandi replied. Kandi reached into her purse, pulled out another envelope. Riley's eyes widened. What's this? It's a new appointment. For your second driving test. But I thought I failed. No, baby. You just learned. And learning isn't failure. It's growth. Riley held the envelope tight. I'll do better this time. I know you will. Some journeys aren't about reaching a place. They're about becoming someone. And sometimes the most powerful thing a mother can say is, I'll ride with you. Just a few weeks later, the sun was shining. The skies were clear. And Riley stood outside, holding her learner's permit and smiling. Today was the day. She wasn't nervous. Not this time. She had practiced. She had studied. And most of all, she had grown. As they walked to the driveway, Riley stopped. There was a small car parked outside. Light blue. Simple. Not fancy. But new. Brand new. Riley turned. Wait, what is this? Kandi handed her the keys. It's yours. You earned it. Riley stared at the keys. She blinked twice. Are you serious? Completely. But I thought we were still waiting. We were, and we did. And now? Now it's time. Kandi stepped closer. But there's one condition. Riley nodded quickly. Anything. For your first drive? I ride shotgun. Riley laughed through happy tears. Of course, Mom. Riley opened the door and sat behind the wheel. Kandi buckled in beside her. The car smelled like fresh leather and new beginnings. Riley gripped the wheel, took a breath, and started the engine. It purred like a quiet promise. As they rolled down the street, windows cracked just enough to feel the breeze. Riley smiled. Are you still nervous? Kandi smiled back. A little. But I trust you. They didn't talk much after that. They didn't need to. The silence between them wasn't heavy anymore. It was peaceful, comfortable, full of understanding. I thought getting the car would make me feel free. But what really made me feel free? I knew my mom believed in me. I still don't have it all figured out. I still make mistakes. But now, I know I'm not alone. They pulled into a drive-thru and ordered milkshakes, strawberry for Riley, vanilla for Kandi. It wasn't fancy, but it was perfect. A quiet celebration of a loud journey. Some fights are worth having. Because sometimes they bring you closer. Not because you win, but because you learn how to love better.